I feel as if that's a legacy fight. I feel as if, this is the biggest.
It's official. Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford are set to face off in a blockbuster fight, one that is already being called the most explosive showdown in boxing history. Canelo Alvarez recently defended his super middleweight titles with a unanimous decision victory over Edgar Berlanga. Although he is currently on a break from boxing, the whispers about his next opponent have not died down, and one name on everyone's lips is Terence Crawford. Canelo's dominant win over Berlanga not only reinforced his place as the top fighter at 168 pounds, but also sparked debates about his next move. Boxing commentator Brian Custer praised Canelo's performance, stating, "Canelo showed why he's the best at 168, but Berlanga showed himself well." Custer emphasized Canelo's supremacy while acknowledging Berlanga's commendable efforts in the ring. However, the conversation around Canelo's next bout took an unexpected turn when Turkey Alec made a bold statement alongside Crawford that shook the boxing community. During a post-fight interview, Alec teased a major matchup, saying, "Tell the fans what we're doing next. We're going for Canelo next." His words caught the attention of fans and analysts, sparking speculation about a new challenge for the Mexican star. Terence Crawford, eager to join the conversation, quickly expressed his readiness for the challenge with his trademark confidence. He suggested that a fight with Canelo would be monumental, adding more fuel to the speculation of a potential mega fight. Fans around the world are now eagerly awaiting the official announcement. Crawford didn't hold back, taking to social media and boldly tweeting, "Put me in the game, coach." It was a direct challenge to Canelo, and it immediately sparked conversations across the boxing world. Despite Crawford's confidence, Canelo kept things vague. When asked about the possibility of a fight with Crawford, he responded with no comments, leaving fans wondering if the rematch would ever happen. This silence only added to the speculation until the doubts were finally put to rest. The fight was officially confirmed, setting the stage for one of the most anticipated matchups in recent boxing history. Crawford, fresh off a victory at 154 pounds against Israel Medrimov, made it clear he was ready for this fight. "Crawford is the biggest fight in boxing," he said, reinforcing his belief that he can take on the super middleweight champion. This victory against Medrimov, a critical test for Crawford, showed his ability to compete against bigger opponents. Prominent figures like Turkey Alec have echoed Crawford's sentiments, issuing challenges to Canelo and stirring excitement for the potential clash. In interviews, Canelo himself has acknowledged the possibility of facing Crawford, stating that the bout could happen. However, he made it clear that it wasn't his immediate plan. "I just want to enjoy this fight," he said, referring to his recent match. "I'll talk with my team later, but right now there's nothing more to say." The idea of a Canelo versus Crawford fight brings to mind the delayed bout between Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. However, this potential clash is different. Canelo and Crawford are both still in their prime, raising the stakes for a battle between two of the top fighters in the sport today. Crawford's promoter, Bob Arum, along with other key figures in boxing, have continued to push for the fight. However, Canelo has emphasized that he will take time to rest before discussing his next steps with his team. "I'll talk with Eddie Reynoso, Al Heyman, and Luis Decubas Jr. to see what's next," Canelo stated. But there's nothing definite right now. While Canelo remains reserved about the fight, Crawford is undeterred, insisting that this is the biggest fight in boxing. Veteran commentators like Mike Tyson have voiced concerns about Crawford's ability to step up to 168 pounds. Tyson recognizes Crawford's skill, but believes the jump to super middleweight could be too much, especially against a fighter like Canelo, who possesses immense power and size in that division. Despite these concerns, Crawford remains undaunted. He views this fight as an opportunity to secure his legacy, fully aware of the physical challenges ahead. On the other hand, boxing trainer Robert Garcia expressed that Canelo's punching power, particularly in the later rounds, could pose significant problems for Crawford. "I think Canelo's power and strength in the late rounds are where Crawford starts getting into trouble," Garcia said. While he acknowledges Crawford's ability to hold his own early in the fight, he ultimately sees Canelo taking control as the bout continues. "I'm not saying Crawford wins, but he will put up some really good rounds, especially in the first half of the fight," Garcia predicted. His analysis reflects a belief that while Crawford can make the fight competitive in the early rounds, Canelo's size and power will likely shift the momentum in his favor as it progresses. As anticipation for the fight builds, attention has also turned to the financial aspect. Canelo has reportedly demanded a staggering $150 million for the fight, a figure that some see as an obstacle to finalizing the bout. Turki Alik, who's been involved in the negotiations, remains hopeful, but acknowledges that Canelo's financial demands could complicate matters. If the fight does go ahead, it would represent Crawford's biggest test to date, as he would be moving up multiple weight classes to face a fighter who has dominated the super middleweight division. Crawford has already shown respect for Canelo, stating, "This is a legacy fight. It's the biggest fight in boxing today." However, he made it clear that he is up for the challenge. "You got two guys, top 3 pound for pound, going head-to-head," Crawford emphasized. He acknowledged the size difference, but showed no signs of hesitation. The size difference is indeed a point of discussion. Canelo, naturally the larger man, has fought much bigger opponents throughout his career. Crawford, on the other hand, has made his mark in the lighter weight classes. Addressing this, Canelo stated that while Crawford is a great fighter, there are weight classes for a reason. Despite this, he left the door open, hinting that the fight could happen, but only under the right circumstances. Veteran commentator Jim Lampley also weighed in, noting that while Crawford is skilled and undefeated, he might be too small to pose a real threat to Canelo at this stage. He asserted that unless Crawford moves up in weight and proves himself against bigger competition, Canelo might not see the fight as a serious possibility. Nonetheless, Crawford is no stranger to fighting bigger men and is confident in his skill set. "I just think his punching power and size are the only things to worry about," he said, emphasizing his readiness to handle the challenge in the ring. Throughout his career, Crawford has consistently stepped up to face larger opponents, and he believes this experience will serve him well against Canelo. "I've been fighting bigger guys my whole life, so I'm pretty familiar with that aspect of the game," Crawford stated. However, he understands that this matchup is on a different level and knows he must be at his absolute best to secure victory. As for Canelo's renewed interest in the fight, Crawford is uncertain about what has changed. "I don't know, you have to ask him," Crawford remarked. "But it's a very intriguing fight." This shift in Canelo's attitude has further sparked excitement among fans, adding to the anticipation of what promises to be an unforgettable showdown. Crawford acknowledged that Canelo has his own agenda and that this potential bout would be a passing of the